Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Deep Focus Show. I'm Aiden,
I'm Clayton.
I'm Bobby.
and we're back with the Spielberg series, going through his all of his films, and it's always very fun to talk about them. And that leads us to today's film, Always, 1989, one of his two films that year. Did you guys? I had not even heard of this movie. What about you guys, like before doing this?
I hear along with 1941, it's his Ugly Duckling film. It's just kind of, I guess, I don't want to say underrated, but just not talked about ever.
Hmm.
His 13th film, I should add.
It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know this in a way, but no, well, I guess I kind of did because I actually own this movie because it's in my box set, Spielberg box set that I have. It has like 8 Spielberg movies, and somehow it's in there. But I never hear about this movie ever. I didn't really know what's it about or anything, except that it has some fantasy elements.
I think it got nominated or won a Saturn Award, but no Oscars. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Damn.
So yeah, um, I can go first, give my little mini review. Um, I mean, not that much to talk about with this one. Like, I think it's fine. I want to coin a term. This is not Oscar bait, but it is emotion bait. Like, it's playing so hard for that, like, wholesome kind of style that it comes across a little, like, almost insincere. Um, but the acting is good, you know. I mean, the three main performances with Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, and John Goodman. That's good. And then that's fine. I like the music. The score is very nice. It's kind of got that stirring, emotional sound to it. That's great to hear. But in terms of just enjoyment, not as big on this one. You know, I like it more than something like The Color Purple, which was just boring, but this is almost boring. So I'm going with a 3 star out of 5. But one thing I did like a lot was Audrey Hepburn being in the movie. You know, that single-handedly made me more happy to watch because I'm like, you know, this is a great star, and to see, I guess, her final film role, that's important, but the film doesn't live up to that. So 3 stars, it's good, but I don't really care that much about it. I don't really want to watch it again. But yeah, it was fine. I didn't hate it. I wasn't, bored or super turned off by it. It was just fine. Like, I don't have that much commentary.
Would it have been 3.5 if John Goodman didn't stick his chicken inside of his beer?
No, I was just kidding about that, but that is a gross ass thing to do. I'm sorry. You cannot stick a piece of fried chicken in a cup of beer. Like,
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's an interesting one. It's like a remake of a 1940s uh film written by Dalton Trumbo and a guy named Joe. And well, all of us three love Joe here, but I don't think that I feel like for a reason maybe this is pretty forgotten. I feel like 1989 is really the year of the Last Crusade, and obviously it's a Indiana Jones film, and that's gonna take a more attention. And um, like I kind of like this story in a way, or the premise. I don't know, like the ghost aspect of it, and well, I don't know, they're like firefighters in the sky, sort of like they throw water from a plane into like forest fires or something. And it's kind of a cool, and I kind of like that sort of action scenes, what do you call them, like the plane scenes, and they're well done. And um, I wasn't sure in the beginning there was some like very comedic scenes. Like there's some, I think the bar scene which has the fried chicken scene that I was talking about. It didn't really land on me. I felt it was a bit over the top there, and I kind of actually prefer some of those later scenes with the Ted and the Holy Hunters character, and those more. So I like the dinner scene with them, and even if sometimes I don't know, the ghost sometimes like tries to get in the way, and sometimes I was like, ah, go away, we don't need you here. But what can you do? But like it's just a fine film. It's predictable perhaps, and I sometimes cringe at some of the moments, and some are, I think, a bit overly sugary maybe, but there's some really good moments too in the film, and I think Holly Hunter's performance is one of the better ones here. And yeah, I'm gonna give same score, 3 stars. It's not something I would really go back to, even if I didn't. It's still a bad film. Yeah, it just exists. Yeah.
Well, this feels like a comfort movie, but I think it's such a drag. I don't care for it. I think it should have taken more risks, and I hate Pete. I hate Pete a lot. I think he's emotionally manipulative. It just feels like Spielberg is running on autopilot. Like any potentially great ideas regarding the afterlife is just tossed aside. Audrey Hepburn in her final film role, she does absolutely nothing here. The third act borders on parody. And I'm just really struggling. I find this film so boring. I did not buy the wife's reaction to finding out that Pete is dead. Like she didn't even cry. She just like stared out the window. So terrible. John Goodman does nothing here. There's a scene along with the chicken inside of the beer. He sticks a straw in a Twinkie, and it's pretty gross. Um, the dancing scene is the only scene I kind of liked with all the guys in the oil and Dorinda telling them to wash up. But I don't know. Some critics believe this is a precursor to the ghost genre films, like the movie Ghost, which is much better than this. I believe it was released a couple years later. Um, and I think Pete is just a hideous character. He's terrible. He's reluctant to let Dorinda move on. When Baker is there, he's like, "Don't forget that you're still my girl." It's just, he's atrocious. I don't understand the point of this film. Like, he needs to let go and, like, do I really want to be watching something like this? It's just such a drag. It's absolute fucking cringe. The cinematography at the end is fine, but Spielberg does better stuff. The flying scenes are okay, but yeah, 2 stars. I don't know how this movie has a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes because it's just bad. It's terrible. I hated it.
Nice. Um, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if like he was manipulative so much as like he's like dead. Like we don't really know what we would do if we were dead and ghosts and stuff. Like what would you do? I don't know.
I don't know. I would have just
Right.
like killed myself again because like what's the point?
Okay. Yeah. So is this more
Um,
cringe than 1941 for you?
No, that was 1.5 stars.
So
Um,
this is not quite, this is only absolute fucking cringe, not absolute fucking cringe, I guess, right?
mhm. Yep. Yep.
All right. Any
And
other
Studio
comments?
yeah,
Marmoset is a terrible movie too, but hopefully that's not as bad.
Any other
yeah,
comments
no.
from anyone?
I would not
Um,
recommend.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
It's
not
just
that much to say about this. Thankfully, the next one is much better. So we'll have
yeah,
much more
yeah.
to talk about. Maybe Clay will give another, like his first Indiana Jones review. Who could forget it? Maybe we'll
I
get
gave
that
that
again.
3.5, and I think
Yeah,
I gave Temple of Doom 3.5 as well, but I can't remember. Might have been three.
maybe. I don't remember. It was like a
Sure.
year ago. So, okay. Thanks everyone for watching. This was the Deep Focus Show. So thank you guys,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next time
Thank you.
with the last cruise.
Uh,
Yep. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Ciao.